As I mentioned a little while ago, happy Mother's Day. In case you just tuned in right now, I want to wish you a happy, happy Mother's Day. You know, last night, one of the commentators on television said that tomorrow, which is today, was one of the most important or the most important day of the whole year, Mother's Day. And I said, yes, I like that very much because we are extra special, very, very special. You're going to see this month flowers everywhere. And I was really happy that the flower district of Los Angeles has opened up, and a lot of flower shops all over Orange County have opened up just to make it nice for us mamas to get some fresh flowers. And of course, they promote perfume, and they promote jewelry, and they promote all kinds of stuff. But you know what? If you're not able to get out, because you're really not supposed to be going out there, okay? So if you are not able to get out there, that's okay. All us mamas want is your love. And a little extra attention, maybe you bring us a cup of coffee instead of we taking you the cup of coffee, something like that. You get the gist. So kids, be extra special to your mama today. Be extra special to your mama today. My name is Ruth de Leon, and I am the wife to Pastor Danny Sr. Here at the church. Have been married to this awesome young man for 53 years. That's a long time. And I am the mother of 3 sons. Pastor Danny Jr., who you know very well here from Templo Calvario, Joseph and Stephan. Joseph, who lives in Georgia, and Stephan, who lives here in Orange County. I'm the grandmother to 12 grandchildren, I should say. I'm sorry, I need to correct that. Grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And so it is a pleasure to be with you guys this morning. You know, in the month of February, I want to say into March, we started hearing about this virus that was going on. Started in the other countries, and then it started creeping into the United States and hit really hard in New York. I remember that the last day that we were able to get together to do any kind of celebration was actually for Pastor Danny's birthday, which was March the 15th. That's why I remember. Lo and behold, right after that, within a day or 2 or 3 days, we started hearing that the virus had hit really hard. The coronavirus had hit hard in the United States, starting, of course, like I mentioned, in New York, and then it was starting to come through all the different states, causing all of a sudden the schools to close, the universities to close, businesses to close, the malls were all closing. All of a sudden, the bosses and the owners of different companies were telling their staff, I need you to get prepared, go home and work from your house. Work from our house? When have we ever done that, you know? For some people, that was easy to do. For other people, it was, oh my God, I don't even know how to turn on the computer at home, and much less, and maybe I don't have the right internet. I'll tell you what, that did something to my husband when he was forced to not be here at church anymore for anything. Everything is from the house. I'll tell you what, he had to learn more about the Zoom meeting here, the Zoom meeting there, the chat time here, all those things. Anyway, that's when we really knew we were getting viejitos when all that happened. But anyway, all of that is tremendous shock to the family. All of a sudden, you were told as a parent, starting next Monday, your kid is going to be home with you for undetermined amount of time. We don't know when they're going to go back to school. So now you're going to be receiving through your internet all their homework. Well, for some parents, that was very easy to do. For other parents, they didn't even have the computer or didn't have the means or didn't know how to work with that. Well, they had to learn because their kids continued to go to school. Of course, for some of the children, it's, yay, we're going to be on vacation. No, you're going to do homework. And then by the end of the week, guess what? Dad was home too. And sometimes dad had to be the one to work from home as well. So you've got mama working from home, you've got dad working from home, you've got the kids trying to do their homework, and you have them 24/7. There is no sending them away anywhere. Go watch a movie. There is no going out. Everybody was told to stay home. And then to top it off, we had a rainy season. They couldn't even go outside to play. So all these tremendous shocks to the family unit, to the world in general. But thank the Lord for mothers. In spite of all circumstances, moms got it under control. Some way, somehow, we managed to do that. Mother makes it right. Mama is the heart of the home. Mama is the heart of the home. To all the normal cares of the house, now she has to be the teacher to help the kid get into the internet. Now she has to be the doctor if they get sick. Now she has to be the coach has to keep them busy, has to do all the things. But you know what? Moms are very capable, and we're strong, although sometimes we don't feel that way. But that's the way we are. We just make things happen. We are daring to take on the challenges, and we sometimes do above and beyond what would be expected. But that's what Mama does to make everything comfortable for the family at home. Today with me, I've got two beautiful women who I love dearly that are mamas. And I'm going to have them share with you this morning of what the challenges have been for them during this pandemic time, during this coronavirus. The first person is going to share with us is Pastor Asenath Cáceres. She is wife to our associate pastor, Tommy Cáceres. And they together have 3 children, Josiah, Isabella, and Tabitha. She also works full-time for Vanguard University as a worship pastor. And you know what? She's working now from home as well. And so is Pastor Tommy working from home as well. And so are the children doing their homework from home as well. And I'm sure you're going to share with us some of those challenges. But you know what? For everything, there's a solution, correct? For everything, there's a solution. So, Pastor Asenath, take it away.
Absolutely. For everything, there is a solution. And I think I have a picture here of our little tribe. La tribu Cáceres. It's a picture of my family. There we have Tommy, my husband, Tabitha, she's our grade schooler, and Isabella's in junior high, and Josiah's our high schooler. So not only is it 3 kids at home, but 3 different schools, 3 different forms of communication, and the experiences there have been all I could say is changed in so many ways. We've experienced so much change during this time. Our jobs have changed, the schools for the kids, and even here at church and leading worship and how that's all changed. Our social lives has changed, and there's so much that has just been pulled from underneath us, and just have come to feel just knowing that lockdown at home and feeling disconnected with that social distancing. But some of us have experienced this so differently. And, it is a time of crisis, right, Pastor Ruth? It's a time of crisis. Like, some people have not feel like this is an interruption to their life, meaning there's a pause, and then everything, you press play and everything's going to go back to how it used to be. But unfortunately, I really don't believe that is the case. Even if you haven't been as affected, and maybe things go back to play for you, but the world around us has changed.
Yes.
And that's what we call a time of crisis. That's what we call trauma. It's a disruption, and it's a stressful event that changes us. And the thing is, we want to know, how is it going to change you? See, because moms, we manage an atmosphere at home. Mm-hmm. We manage an atmosphere at home, and we get to help to dictate how we are going to be changed. Mm-hmm. We get to help to dictate how we're going to be changed. And the storms in our lives, the crises in our lives, those things that challenge us, when they come into our lives, they kind of reveal things about us. I don't know about you, but I've come to learn a few things about myself, our family life, that I would not they would not have come up if it weren't for the social crisis that we're going through right now. And storms in our lives will expose things. They expose the things that need to be worked on. I don't know about you, but I know there's families that have been very intentional about connecting and being close together. I know we have been intentional, because you can be locked into this. You can be locked into a house. You can be locked into a home all together and still be disconnected. Yes. And you still have to be intentional about connecting and creating family time and creating family moments, playing cards together, having dinner together, talking about your day, reading the word, and praying together as a family. And those are things that will help you be connected, even within your own home. There there is something that may have been revealed to the world around us, that we lived in the same home, but yet we were disconnected. And we have an opportunity to reconnect, to reestablish. We get to rebuild. Come on, mamas. This is the time where we get to rebuild some things that have been exposed to us through this crisis. So if you are a mom that feels shaken, if you are a family that feels shaken through this all, I want to remind you that our foundation can be Jesus Christ. If it hasn't been already, it can be Jesus Christ. He is a rock. He is the rock and our anchor on which we could stand on. So I just want to leave you with this verse. It says in the book of Psalms 62, 1 and 2, truly, my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from him. Truly, he is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken.
Amen.
Be that stronghold, Mom.
Amen.
Deepen your relationship with Christ and lead your family to that as well, that you and your family would not be shaken.
I don't think we realize, ladies, how much this Mother's Day will never be like any other Mother's Day. I hope and pray that this will be the only one like this. You know, our children are going to grow up remembering the pandemic, just the way people remember the 9/11 or other tragedies that have hit us in this world. And they'll never be the same. There will never be, you mentioned about going back to normal. There will be no normal. It'll be a new normal. What that's going to look like, I don't know. But it is true. Now's the time to take advantage. Don't make our situation at home a bad thing, because now's the time to, if you never had time to eat with your children because you're always running from one spot to the other, now's the time to get to know them. Sit down and enjoy a meal with them. Sit down and talk to them. You know, it took me a while. I don't have little ones at home anymore, but it took me a while to slow down to know that I had my tomorrow free of no schedule. We tend to work on schedules. I'm a very much a scheduled person. That's the way I function. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me, oh, I don't have a schedule tomorrow, nor the next day for who knows how many days, you know. So now is the time to get to know each other better, even your husband. Sometimes, pobrecito, he gets pushed in the back corner there because you're too busy with your kids and all your other stuff. Well, now is a good time because there will be no normal, if you will.
He's over there cheering you on.
I think my husband down there is saying, yay. The next person that I would like to share is a very special person in my life because she's my beautiful daughter-in-law. She is married to Pastor Danny Jr., and she oversees all the media here at the church. She is the mama to 4 children, Danelle, Daniel III, Jonathan, and Chris. And she's grandmother to 2 children, Marcus and Dominic. She also works full-time for the Orange County Housing Authority. And she's also working from home with Pastor Danny Jr., so that must be very interesting. 2 offices in one room. That should be really interesting. Chris, please share from your heart what the Lord has put in your heart.
Thank you, Mama. And yes, happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful ladies out there. A change is exactly right. You know, Pastor Altanas made that comment, and that was the hard thing for me. I'm a person, a creature of habit, if you will. I like things to be very organized and very under my control. My kids know I love to control things. You should see our vacations. Every minute is accounted for. We'll go to this restaurant, and then we'll do this thing, we'll do this. So that's me. I'm a control freak. But all of a sudden, I wasn't in control. We happened to be in Florida when this all happened, and Danny, my husband, was doing his, he goes to school for his doctorate program, and we were in Florida. And of course, because we were in Florida, I was at Walt Disney World. And I started getting these texts from my mom and my family members saying, Disneyland is closed. And I was like, what? And I was at Walt Disney World, and it wasn't closed yet, but it was just the trickle effect. And all of a sudden, the walls started to come in on me. Things that I could rely on closed. And that was such a weird feeling for me, because when I get too stressed or I get too whatever, we'll go to a movie, or maybe we'll go to a dinner just to kind of take a break, or Disneyland. And to have that closed, I mean, it's
You were
never
not
closed before.
You were not in control anymore
I
of anything.
I wasn't, and it was so hard for me. And then, as Mom said, that now I'm working from home, so we're telecommuting, which we've never done before in the county. I've worked there 17 years, and this was the first time. Fortunately, I do have a computer at home. We have good internet, so we were able to make that transition. But now, right behind me, I think I have a picture up of my family. I should start with that. So this shows you how close I am to my family. We do everything together, 100%, right? So it's a big family. You can see that's my beautiful 4 children, my new daughters-in-law, my son-in-law, my mom, my dad, my sister's in there as well. That was for my birthday last year. And not having that connection to them was really hard, and being out of control of that, because now I can't see them. They said, you have to stay home. Like, I have to stay home? So I had to work from home. I had to stay home. And that was hard for me and Danny, because Pastor Danny works usually at the office. He has his own office here. He's upstairs. He's quite loud. So he'll be taking his calls like he normally does. He puts them on the speakerphone, and he's like, la, 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 talking to all the people he needs to talk to and trying to organize, what are we going to do now, church online, all these things we had to change. And now he's right behind me. I think I have a picture of that, too, of our new reality, right? Where my office, you can see me up there in the corner, and Pastor Danny's right behind me, my husband. And you think, oh, isn't that wonderful? We're together. No, it was not wonderful. And then now to see my children, I have to see him either by FaceTime. You see my little Dominic there showing me his slime that he was working on. And now my family I have to see through video conferencing. And, it was so isolating to me. I felt so alone. Yes, I had Danny next to me, and you think, I've got my husband right there. He's a wonderful man. He's been a wonderful husband of 30 years, my best friend. But he was so hyper-focused on everything. Now work is at our office. It's there at home. He couldn't disconnect from that. The calls, the nonstop. Then he was teaching. He teaches 2 classes at Vanguard University.
Through the internet now.
Through the internet now. Yeah. So now, right there, he's teaching from his classes. I'm trying to do my work. He's teaching his classes. I'm trying to not be in the background of his classes, of his students. So my whole world went topsy-turvy. It was really hard. It was really hard, not being in control. And ladies, maybe you're feeling like that too, that this world is out of control, or you don't know what to expect. Mom said, we don't know when schools are going to open. We don't know when the parks are going to open up. We don't know when we're going to be able to go outside and enjoy recreation like we've done before. They're showing the beaches, you have to be active, which means you can't sit on a blanket anymore and just relax in the sun. You have to be doing something. And so it's different. Things have changed, and it's not in our control. But what we can control is ourselves. I like how that video said, we can be the control of our home. Pastor Kat once taught me that the woman is the thermometer of her home, the temperature gauge. So if you're hot, the house is hot. If you're cold, your house is cold. So we get to set that temperature at our homes. We get to now be the teacher. We get to now be that loving, understanding person. We need to be in control of ourselves, and we can do that by trusting in God, right? We can do that by allowing Him to give us that peace, that calmness, to know He knows what tomorrow has. We don't have to know all the answers. In fact, it's better if we trust on Him, right? So we got to let go of our control, allow God to be God, and trust Him to come into our lives, to be in our families, and to lean on Him for His strength.
Amen. Amen. I tend to be a controlling person as well. I'm used to my schedule. I'm used to it. I like everything done just a certain way, and I have a hard time with that. But when it really hit me that we were in a pandemic was for my birthday. We couldn't celebrate my birthday. It was just my husband and I. And he was trying to figure out all kinds of things. Well, where can I take you to? Oh, I can't take you to dinner. Well, what? I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that either. So we kind of guessed.
Shopping? You couldn't go shopping?
I couldn't go shopping. He was, well, he doesn't know how to do that one. Otherwise, I would have told him to do that. And, but what made it nice, but it was an eye-opener, was for me that on the Sunday, the day before my birthday was a Sunday, and all of a sudden we were having our lunch, and my daughter Chris comes and she says, I need you to come to the to the hallway for a little bit by the front door, and she opens the door, and my grandchildren were standing there, but it was funny because they were in the middle of the street singing happy birthday with masks on. It was a drive-by happy birthday song, and it was so nice, and it touched my heart. But I thought, wow, this is for reals. This is for real. Very different. This is a new normal, And where as much as I loved everything they did for me, the songs and the flowers and the candies, and they kind of had this kind of like distances, And I did manage to get them to come in for about 10 minutes or so. And what they did, I had to laugh. They all had their masks on, and everybody was in one corner of the room. Social distancing, and that was different, We're used to being on top of each other practically. But those are changes that are going to take place. And Mama, if you are watching us today and you say, my world is totally upside down, I can't handle this anymore. How much longer is this going to go on? I don't know, but let go and let God take over. Let go and let God take over. He's the one that can give us hope. He's the one that can give us peace. He's the one that can bring us joy. He's the one that gives us direction, understanding as to how to best proceed. This isn't going to go away tomorrow. I'd like to tell you that it is, but I don't know when it is. I like what Boris said a few minutes ago regarding an old famous song, beautiful song that says, I don't know about tomorrow. I don't seem to understand. But I know who holds the future, and I know who holds my hand. That's what we need to remember. Isaiah 41:10 reads as follows. Fear not, for I am with you. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I'm going to help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. He knows exactly what you're going through. He knows exactly what you're going through. And the peace that surpasses all understanding only comes from God when we have a connection to God. So if today you say, it's to me just like any other day, I don't feel special at all. Maybe part of it is because maybe your upbringing didn't allow you to enjoy Mom. Maybe your past was not what you would have wanted. But don't let your past dictate your future. Today you can make that change and say, Lord, I'm not sure I understand everything they're talking about, but they did say that if I hang on to you, that you were going to help me. Say it, so surrender. Let go. Lose that control on everything and just say, Lord, you take over and you be in control. If you would like that, if you would like to have Pastor Danik pray, you can do that in just a few moments. And surrender your heart to God and say, God, I don't understand. This world is getting crazy. And you know what? Honestly, it's getting crazier by the day. But we are still here. We're still going to make it. We are going to make it. You may be struggling in your finances. You may be struggling with no job. And you say, where is it coming from? I see the news every day. And I see the desperation on the owners of those businesses and the malls and all the restaurants and everything else. We don't know how we're going to make it. I don't know either, but I know somebody that does. And he's going to help us through that. Before Pastor Danny comes to pray for you, I want to read something to you. And it reads as follows. You are not here by chance, but by God's choosing. His hand formed you and made you the person you are. He compares you to no one else. You are one of a kind. Remember that. I'm somebody special because God does not make junk. Just remember that. You lack nothing that His grace can't give you. He has allowed you to be here at this time in history because we are making history. It's going to go down in the books. The year 2020, we had a pandemic that affected the whole world. And in those history books, it's going to written down everything that was done or not done. So He has allowed you to be here at this time in history to fulfill His special purpose for this generation. How you react in your home is going to affect how your children react as well, how they learn to perceive and how they learn to accept or not accept. And I know it's tough, Mama. I know it's tough. Maybe your circumstances are not the ideal ones. Maybe you rent one room with all your family and you say, I'm going crazy. Maybe you're a daddy that has to be Mama and Daddy. Or maybe you're that single mom that doesn't even know where the next meal is going to come from. I know God is there. God is here. And all you have to do is say, God, help me. This is so beyond me. Help me, God. And he will, because you are special in his eyes. Don't worry about the past. Don't let it dictate your future. You go on ahead and have a better tomorrow. Pastor Danny?